Alright, so we're going to be on 3.3 lesson, so you should have out your creamish colored notes, and we're going to be on this. We're going to be talking about for the next 2 days dividing fractions. It's pretty much if you can multiply fractions, you can divide fractions, okay? The biggest thing with dividing fractions is you have to invert or find the reciprocal of the second fraction. So the reciprocal or to invert, they give you a picture right here with some glasses. I think about it at Dairy Queen. Y'all ever gone to Dairy Queen to get a Blizzard? Yeah. What are they supposed to do with that Blizzard before they give it to you? They're supposed to flip it. That's called an invert. Okay? To invert or find the reciprocal means to just flip. So you have to flip the second fraction. Is pretty much all you have to do for dividing fractions. They flip it to make sure like the ice cream is like hard and it's not all melty. That's like their signature thing. They don't want it like soft and stuff. They want it to be like sustainable, thick. Right. So we have a few examples, but what I want you to realize, what I want you to put on your paper so that you are aware of what it is. The word reflip or the word invert or reciprocal just simply means to flip. Okay? This down here. They give us a few examples on example 1 of how to write reciprocals. They give you 3/5. Basically, you're just going to flip it, and it's going to become 5/3. Okay? If you flip 9/5, what would it be? 5/9. Okay? Now, the only difference is we have a whole number 2 on C. Okay? Before you flip it, you have to turn it into a fraction. Well, how do we turn them into a fraction? You put a 1 under it, and then you can flip it to be 1/2. Okay? That is actually one of our standards, is just find the reciprocal. So as long as you know the word reciprocal means to flip, you're good to go. So like you may have a question or milestone that says, what's the reciprocal of 2/3? 3/2, right? And then bam, you're good.
So you'll just have one fraction, and then you keep that one the same, and you just flip it. That's what L6 was. Multiply those.
Yeah, that's what we're getting to.
That's what L6 was.
All right, so you have a try it section right there for 1, 2, 3, 4. I want you to find the reciprocals of those real quick. You have 30 seconds. It should take you more than 30 seconds.
Where is it?
Under try it.
Okay. I'm going to try it.
You just find the reciprocals of those real quick. All right. Caleb, what'd you get for 1? 4/3. That's correct. This is the hard one. Let's see. CJ, Darcy. How did you get 1/5? Put a 1 under it, and then you flipped it to be 1/5. Okay? Kate, what'd you get for number 3? 2/7. And Mr. Taylor, what'd you get? 9/4. Pretty easy peasy, right? Okay? So, let's look under key idea. Basically shows us how we do it. Okay? Pretty much. Okay? When we do dividing fractions, we do KCR. Now, last year, y'all did KCF. You did flip. Okay? But that's what little kids say. Little kids say flip. Big kids say reciprocal. Can you say the word reciprocal? Reciprocal. So you
You're on the hand thing.
I'm on the hand thing. All right. KCR. KCR means keep the first. Okay. You might want to write this off to the side, because by the time we have a test and you're reviewing for it, you'll be forgot. C stands for change. What are you going to change? You're going to change the sign. You're going to change from division to multiplication. And then you're going to find the reciprocal, which means to flip it. Okay. Keep the first, change the sign, reciprocal. Keep the first, change the sign, reciprocal. Okay. Keep the sign. Now keep the first, change the sign, reciprocal. Okay, so you keep the first fraction the same. So they give us the example of 1/5 divided by 3/4. We keep the first, meaning keep the first fraction exactly the same.
What we did last year.
We change the division sign to multiplication and we find the reciprocal. So keep 1/5 exactly the same. Change division to multiplication and find the reciprocal. You only flip the second fraction. Then you just multiply straight across like we did yesterday. 1 times 4 is 4. 5 times 3 is, and there's your answer. Yeah, it's just keep, change, flip, fancier word. Yeah, basically. Yes, ma'am.
We did this last year.
You did do
We
this last
didn't do KCR. We just did KCR.
Yeah, that's what Augusta was saying. Fancier word is all it is. Okay?
We used to say case. Yep.
KFC. All right, so if you turn the page to example number 2.
I don't think my husband did.
Okay, we find 3/4 divided by 5/12. Okay, we have 3/4. Whoops. 3/4 divided by 5/12.
Keep
the first,
change
change the sign,
and then flip it.
reciprocal.
It's flip it.
You're right.
36.
36 over 20. Okay. We could convert this to a mixed number. How do we convert this to a mixed number? Okay, you divide. 36 divided by 20. How many 20s are you going to get? 1. Well, how many is that? That's just 20, right? 20 times 1 is 20. So we're taking out 20 of the 36. How much do we have left over? 16 20ths. You could simplify that.
Or it's going to make 1 and 4.
It would make 1 and 4/5. Okay? Example B is the same type problem. We have 1/6 divided by 2/3. Keep the first, change the sign, reciprocal.
3 and 3/12.
3/12. Bam.
Or 1/4.
Or 1/4. Alright. There's a try it section 5, 6, 7, and 8. I want you to try those 4 for me. I'll give you about 60 seconds.
Do we have to simplify?
You do not have to simplify.
Do we have to convert?
Just divide it for now. I hate hiccups too, I'm sorry. right, Jana, walk me through how to do number 5.
You keep the 1 half,
Uh-huh.
and then you change the division symbol,
You change the multiplication, uh-huh.
and then you flip
So you have 8 over 1, and what do you get as your answer?
8
Over 2. Okay, now this one we could convert, right, with just division. What would this be if you just divided it? 8 divided by 2 is what? 4. So you could have said 8 halves, or you could have said 4. Okay? Da-da-da-da. Elias, how do you do number 6?
Flip 3 fourths into 4 thirds, and then it'll equal 12/24.
You talking about number 7?
Oh.
So you did 3/8, changed the multiplication, flipped it to 4 thirds, and what did you get? 12 over 24.
I
Okay?
did row by row, not like
Yeah.
that one.
All right, Cameron, how do you do number 6?
Keep the first set of numbers,
Okay, keep the first fraction.
and then change your second fraction into 10 thirds,
Okay, what about the operation sign?
and then you change it to multiplication,
Okay,
and then 2 times 10 is 20, and then 5 times 3 is 15.
beautiful. Okay, and number 8, Micah.
So you keep 2 sevenths, and you flip 9 and 14 and change the sign.
Uh-huh,
2 times 14 is 28, and 9 times 7 is 63.
beautiful. Does anybody have any questions about those? No, pretty straightforward, pretty easy, right? All right. So let's go on to example 3. The only thing different with example 3 is you have a fraction and a whole number. And we already know what to do with our whole numbers. What are we supposed to do with our whole numbers? Put a 1 under it, right? So if I have 4/5 divided by 2, I have to first make my whole number a fraction by putting a 1 under it, okay? So now I can keep 4/5, change division to multiplication, and then flip it.
So 2,
So I get 4 times 1 is 4, 5 times 2 is 10. 4/10
or 2/5.
or 2/5. Okay? I want y'all to do the try at 9 through 12. I'm going to see who else I can get to help. All right, Augusta, tell me how you did number 9.
First I have to put a 1. I have to make the whole number a fraction.
Uh-huh.
So it would be 3 over 1.
Beautiful.
And then I change the division symbol to multiplication symbol.
Okay.
And then I flip the last fraction.
Okay.
And 1 times 1 is 1. No, 1, and then you flip it. Second one.
Uh-huh.
So it would be 1 over 3 and then 3 over 1. Wait, no, wait. We got it wrong.
You got it right. You're good.
One,
Don't be
and then
trying.
9.
And then 9. Okay. And 1 9. All right, Taylor, how do I do 10?
I can take it to a fraction.
Okay, what is your fraction for 10?
10 and 1.
Okay. Then what?
I keep 2 thirds
Keep
and change
2
the
Okay.
And then I put the 2 to 1.
Okay.
And I got 2,
3. Yes, you're correct. All right, Jayla, number 11.
I have 5, 8, and then I would do 4 of the 1.
Uh-huh.
Then I would keep, and then I would change it to multiplication. Then I would flip it to 1/4, and it would equal 5 17.
Good. All right, and then number 12. Amy Kate, how'd you do 12?
I put the 1 under 4 in the bracket,
Uh-huh.
and I swapped it,
Okay.
and I solved it 6 times 1 to 6, and 6 times 4 to 3.
Beautiful. All right. Any questions about those 4?
It's funny how we ended up with 5 answers.
All right. The last example number 4 is your word problems. And this always ends up being the most challenging part out of all of this. Because you have to understand and visualize what the problem's asking you. Okay? This problem says a piece of wood is 4 feet long. How many 3/4 foot pieces can you cut from the piece of wood? How much wood is left over? Okay? You have to envision this. Okay? Let's pretend I'm helping Mr. Cole build the chicken coop out there. Have y'all seen the chicken coop he's been building? Okay, let's say we're helping Mr. Cole build the chicken coop. Okay? It's out there by the
You have a 4.
So we have a 4-foot piece of board, okay? And we need 3/4 pieces to cut to help make the window, okay? How many pieces are that? So I start with my wood, right? And I've got my saw, and I measure out 3/4 and I cut and I take it away. What happened to the 4-foot board? It got smaller, right? And then I take and cut another piece, take it away. Cut another piece, take it away. I'm taking away over and over and over. I'm repeatedly taking something away, right? Anytime you have repeated subtraction, that is division, okay? So you have to start with what you're actually cutting, what you're splitting up, what you actually have. So what do we actually have here?
A wooden board.
We have a wooden board that we're cutting. How big is the wooden board?
4 feet.
4 feet. And we're dividing it into 3/4 sections.
You can put the 1 under it and then flip it. You can keep, change, and flip it. So times 4/3, and then I'll be 4.
And that gives you 16/3. But it asks you how many whole pieces and how many left over. That means you're going to have to end up converting here so that you know how many whole pieces there are. How many times can 3 go into 16? 5 times. Okay, which gives me a total of what? 15, right? 3 times 5 is 15. I take 3 out 5 times, which is a total of 15. So taking out 15 of the 16 pieces, how much is left? 1/3. So how many total whole pieces can I get? 5. How much is left? 1/3. Okay?
We did it.
We did it. All right. Number 20 here says you have 5 cups of rice to make some kind of Korean meal I don't know how to pronounce. Okay? The rice calls for 4/5 cups of rice per serving. How many full servings of blah, blah, blah can you make? How much rice is left over? Okay? Did the blah, blah, blah word really impact this problem? If there are words in your word problems you don't know, guess what? You most likely don't need them. Okay? So, think about it. Any of y'all ever help cook rice at your house? Okay? So usually you have either a big bag of rice. My mom likes to keep it in a bougie little glass container. Okay? But I don't know most of the time how much rice is in there. Sometimes I know. Let's say we have the 5 cups of rice. Okay? And I have a family of 5. I want to know, can I feed my family of 5 based off of this recipe? Well, 1 serving is how much? 4/5 of a cup, so not a full cup. Okay? Am I going to have enough rice, or am I going to have to go to the Walmarts and buy more rice? All right, so let's see. What do I have? What am I starting with? What's the problem about?
Starting with 5 different
Rice,
cups of
right? We're cooking. What are we cooking? Rice. How much rice do I have? 5 cups. And I'm splitting it up into how many cup serving sizes? 4/5 serving sizes. Okay? So you add a 1, keep the first, change the sign, and then flip it. And I end up with 25/4. But I want to know how many servings I can get and how much is left over. How many times can 4 go into 25? 6 times, which equals 24. So I'm taking 24 out of the 25, which means I have 1/4 left over. So do I have enough to feed a family of 5? Can one of my kids have a guest over to eat too? Yeah. Can I have 2 guests over? Can I have 2 guests over? No. Okay.
It's called Them and My Pie.
Alright, so what you're about to do, okay, because that's all we're doing today, you're going to do that section 3.3 puzzle sheet. Okay? 3.3 puzzle sheet on that white paper. Okay? Whatever you do not finish is your homework tonight. So you have 30, 40 minutes in here. So you have plenty of time to get it done. Okay? Alright, these go in the notes section of your binder in case you need to refer back to it. Okay? If you need help, that's what I'm here for.